What's up, YouTube? CZ Scorpion Evo 3 pistol with the Tailhook Mod 1 and the CZ factory cheek piece for their buttstock, the Cerakote version. This is my 1,500 to 2,000 round review on it. I'm going to tell you about some of the pros and cons that I've seen, a couple of things I don't like about it, and a couple of things I do. So, awesome. Before we get started, let's get the inevitable out of the way. YouTube's coming after our gun voices, our Second Amendment voices. So, I think the way we let them know that we care and we want to see these videos is by interaction and positive interaction. So, subscribing, thumbs up, comments, show YouTube that the gun community cares and wants to see these videos. That's the only way our voices get heard, is together. So, yep, out of the way. Cool. So, again, I've got about almost 2,000 rounds through, between 1,500 and 2,000 rounds. Reliability, 100% reliable. Would I trust this gun, my life to this gun? Absolutely. I think this gun is totally awesome. It just keeps running. It's a fantastic design. It's holding up well. I really, really dig it. It's light, it's small, and for the price point for these things is just, you really can't compete with it, honestly. Right? There's other guns that other people might like more, but they don't even come close to this price point. So now let's talk about cons. So the safety selector is really difficult to work. It's pretty tough. The fire control selector is pretty tough to work. So it's one thing that kind of gets me is I'm used to some nicer AR-15 safeties or whatever, and this takes a little more conscious effort to drive it down with your thumb. Maybe that's nitpicky. I don't know. It's for the price point. I guess you really can't complain, because if they make everything perfect on it, it's going to drive up the price. So that's just one con that every time I shoot it, I think about the factory grip angle with the safety selector on the right side, or left side, I guess left side if you're southpaw. But the factory grip angle makes this thing, when it's on fire, hit you in the hand, and it's pretty obnoxious. So you got to retrain your grip and stuff like that, or switch the grip, which I did. And that keeps it out of the way. This grip angle keeps it out of my way when I'm shooting. So cool. Again, con, small con, big con, guess you decide. Another thing I just don't like about it is if the safety's on. So the safety doesn't work like an AR-15. The safety can be the gun's fired. It can be actuated to fire and safe. Well, the gun's not cocked. Like with an AR-15, you have to have the hammer cocked to actuate the safety selector. Otherwise, it stays on fire when the hammer's not cocked. This, you can have it on fire or safe. Now, if you keep it on safe and you try to charge, you can't. You cannot charge this gun while it's on safe. So you have to make sure, let's say you're using this in a defensive scenario. This is your go-to gun in the safe or wherever that you would grab if something goes bump in the night. You got to keep a round in the chamber, or you got to keep it on fire so you can actually charge it and put a round in the chamber, right? Or you keep nothing in the chamber, but with the hammer cocked, and then you can put it on safe. Once the hammer's cocked and this thing's cocked, then you can charge it with the safety on. So if you drop the hammer with the safety on, can't charge. So in order to charge it with the gun on safe, hammer has to be cocked. So once the hammer's cocked, you can put it back on safe, then charge the gun while it's on safe. So that's how I keep mine. I keep mine condition 3 with rounds in the magazine, nothing in the chamber, but I keep it with the hammer cocked, safety on. That way, if I grab it, so I also keep it like that, so it takes up less room. If I grab the gun, send the stock. If there's rounds in it, that won't happen. It'll go to battery. Charge it, and then you're basically fighting. Then your safety's already on. I like when I charge a gun, I like having the safety in the on position. Like with the AR-15, before I load, if I have time and convenience, I will cock the hammer, put the safety on, then I'll load and charge. So I have the safety on before a round goes in the chamber. It's probably best practice, right? So that's how I like to keep this gun. I have it cocked, no round in the chamber, so I just charge and then go. So that's kind of a con. I wish it didn't work like that, because it takes you thinking and making sure and planning and all that kind of stuff. Con, maybe. Big con, I don't know. Up to you to decide. But that's one of the way this gun works. So just be aware. So mine, this one in particular, I could not get the sights to 0 at any kind of close range distance because of, I don't know, maybe it's the way the barrel was installed on mine or something like that, but where the point of aim and point of impact are pretty different. Very, very different. Like I couldn't get any sort of good sighting scenario with the irons without doing work on them. And even still, so I basically had to take the bottom of the front sight post. So the front sight post threads in like that, it screws in, and it was bottomed out, and it was still way too high. Like there was no way I was going to get my iron sights zeroed like that. It would have to be like, it's a ghost ring, and it would have to be like the ghost ring all the way, like the post was above the ghost ring. It was wildly out of spec. So I took it out and I shaved the bottom of it off with a Dremel, put it back in, adjusted it, tried it, still too high. And I kept doing that and took so much off of it, there's barely anything left to like thread it in. Still bottoms out because there's a screw underneath it to push it up. Or I mean a spring underneath it to push it up. And I literally couldn't take enough off of it to get it to go low enough so I'm able to have the gun with a proper zero with its iron sights. I'm close, and I can, but I got to think about like where the post and the ring, and it's kind of dumb. I don't like it like that, but it's what it is. For the price, I mean, I don't know if I could fix that. I don't know if I could get another one, or I would probably have to get like different sights for it. I don't know, but I have this Holosun zeroed on there, which works fine, so I just shoot it like that. But something you should be aware of, like it didn't work for my gun. Like I had to file a bunch off, and I still couldn't get the post low enough to make it work. So is what it is. But this gun's still a ton of fun to shoot. Would I buy it again? Yeah. Don't care about the irons because I put an optic on it anyway. So yeah, for the price, still can't beat it. Just got to find some cons. You know, we should be honest in reviews like this about things that we like, things that we don't like. Shouldn't be all glory, because I do really, really like this, and I won't ever think about selling it, because I like having a 9mm pistol caliber carbine-ish gun. I mean, this is really a pistol, but I like that right there, and that it can shoot like this. So backpack gun style or vehicle gun, this goes extremely well in any kind of case, and you could rip it out and shoot. Where, like, if you put a law folder on a 9mm AR-15, you have to extend the back end of it because of the recoil system in an AR-15, right? You just have to. So I like the fact that you could shoot it like this. If you had it in the front of a vehicle and you had to do some crazy stuff, like, you could still use it in the cab or whatever. So I prefer this kind of setup in a pistol caliber carbine-ish thing, personally. But yep, I guess that's it. Again, would I buy it again? Yep, I love it. I'll recommend this to everybody, because the alternative is really expensive. It's tough to get into the reliability of this system and the features and stuff you get on it. It's tough to get that in any other setup for the price, honestly. I mean, these are very, very, very competitively priced. So yeah, that's the way I think about that. What do I think about the brace after all those rounds? I still think these are fantastic. I think these are better than the SB tactical braces personally, because I like how rigid they are. I don't like the rubbery crap at the bottom. If you've ever strapped one of those to your arm, you understand what I'm talking about. It's even awkward to shoot it like this, honestly. But putting your arm directly below your tube, like on the rubber wing ones, like the SB tactical one and the SIG braces, if your arm's directly below the center of the tube, shooting them is extremely, extremely awkward. Pistol brace wise, these are the bomb. There's nothing like them, because your arm doesn't have to be directly below the tube. Your arm is off to the side, and you can get wherever you're comfortable like this, right? It makes so much more sense for shooting it like this. And plus, ATF says we can shoulder them. It doesn't change the classification, because obviously, right, if I do this on my Glock, it doesn't make it an SBR, right? So pistol, shooting it from here, doesn't change the classification. So this doesn't change the classification either, right? And the SB tactical ones are rubber on the bottom, so I pivot up from low ready. I like it rigid right here. So I think I like these the best. My personal thought. I guess, how's the FDE Cerakote holding up on this factory CZ cheek piece? It's holding up pretty well. It's got a nick here, nick there, little nick here, whatever. It's a gun, it's a tool. I don't care if it's got some honest wear to it, not really big deal. Yeah, I like the way this one looks. I really like the way it feels. I like how compact it is when it folds. You can shoot it with it folded, and your ejected casings don't hit it. It's a really money setup, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. So, yep. Cons. I don't see any other cons, honestly. It just works. The gun works. The trigger's kind of sucky, right? Whatever. it works. The gun just keeps shooting, and that's the main thing, right? This isn't a precision rifle, so who cares if the trigger's kind of heavy and mil spec? Who cares? It's a, this is a 9mm sub gun, honestly. So, big deal. It should be kind of a heavy trigger if it's a defensive gun anyway, so you don't accidentally touch them off when you're putting your safety on or whatever. Yep, my thoughts. Cool. So, yep, thanks again for checking out the video, checking out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, thumbs up, comment if you like what you saw. And also so we let YouTube know that we care about these videos and want to see them. Hope I helped somebody out. Hope that you guys got some good eye candy out of this. Thanks again. Have a nice day.